સંધાન ઓલ ગુજરાત ઇન્ટિગ્રેટેડ ક્લાસરૂમ
સેટેલાઇટના માધ્યમથી જોડતી કડી એટલે સંધાન.
Namaskar. Welcome to Bisect Sandhan. I am Professor Jyoti B. Paradwa from Baudin Science College, Junagadh, and my colleague is Neetaben K. Rangolia from Kamani Science College, Amreli. Today I will talk about the subject tracing of curves. First of all, I will explain you what is the meaning of tracing of curves. Tracing of curves in general, to draw the graph of any curve, we plot large number of points on the graph paper and then sketch it. Another thing is, if we have not given the we have not given equation of the curve, but we have given number of points, set of number of points, and we fit the curve. But tracing of curve is the different thing from these two. Here we will trace the curve. We consider it geometrical properties, and then we try to trace this. We will try to trace the curve. So tracing of curve is a useful technique to find the approximate shape of the curve by considering its geometrical property without plotting large number of points on the graph paper. It plays an important role in the application of integration for finding length of an arc, area, volumes, etc. Also in the application of multiple integration. Here we will try to trace only Cartesian curve by considering its geometrical properties, like that where the curve is symmetrical about the coordinate axis, or whether it has any asymptote, what are the regions of the curve, that is in which region the curve lies or in which region the curve does not lie, and then we will check whether the curve has any particular point, extraordinary point. At that point the curve behave like an extraordinary manner. So we will try to trace the Cartesian curves only. There are some procedure how we check these properties of geometrical properties. So we will first of all see these geometrical properties. You can see here, first of all we have to check the symmetry of the curve. That is the curve is symmetrical about x-axis or y-axis or the both axis, or it is symmetrical about only origin, or it is symmetrical about some line. So first property we have to check for the which is the geometrical properties of the curve is symmetry of the curve. A curve is said to be symmetrical about x-axis when we replace y by minus y in the equation of the curve, and the equation remains unchanged. For example, here we have given the equation y square is equal to 4ax. You can see this property also we can check by the physically, as equation of the curve contains only even power of y. Then we can say that it is symmetrical about x-axis. You can see here that it is the equation of the parabola y square is equal to 4ax. In this equation it contains only even power of y. So if we replace y by minus y, it remains unchanged. So we can say that the parabola y square is equal to 4ax is symmetrical about x-axis. Now to check the symmetry of the curve about y-axis, if we replace x by minus x in the equation and equation remains unchanged, then we can say that it is symmetrical about y-axis. In this case, equation of the curve contains only even power of x. Here one example is given, x square is equal to 4ay. It is also a parabola since it contains even power of x square. So if we replace x by minus x, equation doesn't change, so we can say that it is symmetrical about y-axis. Now we have to check the symmetry of the curve about origin. If the equation of the curve remains unchanged when both x and y are replaced by minus x and minus y, then we can say that the curve is symmetrical about origin. It is also, we can say that when the curve is symmetrical about origin, then it is also symmetrical about opposite quadrant. For example, here we have given the curve x into y equal to a square. It is called an rectangular hyperbola. In this equation, if we replace x by minus x and y by minus x, equation remains unchanged. So we can say that the rectangular hyperbola is symmetrical about the origin. That is, it is symmetrical about opposite quadrant. In the case when the curve contains even powers of only x and y, then it is symmetrical about both the axes. For example, here given circle x square plus y square is equal to a square. Since you can see here both the variable x and y contains even power, so it is symmetrical about both the axes. It should be noted here that when the curve is symmetrical about both the axes, then it is always symmetrical about origin. But converse is not always true. That is, a curve which is symmetrical about the origin, it may not be symmetrical about both the axes because of it contains odd powers of x and y. For example, you can see here the parabola. Equation of the parabola, here we have given two graphs of parabola. Y square is equal to 4ax. First is the parabola which is symmetrical about x axis since it contains even powers of y only. And another is also parabola. Equation of the parabola is x square is equal to 4ay. A is greater than 0. Since it contains only even power of x, so it is symmetrical about y axis. Here next figure shows that first is the circle. Since it contains even powers of both x and y, so we can see that this figure is symmetrical about both the axes, and so it is also symmetrical about origin. Where second figure is the rectangular hyperbola. In this case, we can see that if we replace x by minus x and y by minus x, equation remains unchanged, so it is symmetrical about origin. That is, it is symmetrical about opposite quadrant only, but not symmetrical about both the axes. This figure explain you very well. So next, now we have to check the geometrical properties of the curve is symmetry of the line y is equal to plus or minus x. You know that the line, these two lines y is equal to plus or minus x is passed through the origin. A curve is said to be symmetrical about the line y is equal to plus or minus x if we interchange x to y or y to x and equation remains unchanged. Then we can say that the curve is symmetrical about the line y is equal to x. Similarly, if we replace x by minus y and y by, or interchange, if we interchange x by minus y and y by minus x, and if the equation remains unchanged, then the curve is said to be symmetrical about the line y is equal to minus x. Again, we take this example, xy is equal to x square. You can see here, if we interchange x to y and y to x, equation remains unchanged, so this curve is symmetrical about the line y is equal to x. Similarly, if we interchange x to minus y and minus y to minus x, equation remains unchanged, so we can say that the rectangular hyperbola is also symmetrical about the line y is equal to minus x. Now we have to check the property, or we have to study the curve for the curve origin, whether the curve pass through the origin or not. If the equation of the curve satisfy, or if the point 0 0 satisfy the equation of the curve, then we can say that the curve pass through the origin. That is, if we put x equal to 0 and find y equal to 0, then we can say that the curve pass through the origin. Another method to check whether the curve pass through the origin or not is that if the equation of the curve doesn't contain any constant term, then we can say that the curve pass through the origin. When the curve pass through the origin, then we have to check the nature of the origin. Nature of the origin is that it is an ordinary point or an extraordinary point. So to check the nature of the origin, here some figure, it is shows that a rectangular hyperbola which is symmetrical about the line y is equal to x, y is equal to minus x, and it is also symmetrical about the opposite quadrant but not both the axis, so it is symmetrical about origin. Now to find the nature of the origin, we have to find the tangent at origin. To find the tangent at origin is very well known theorem, well known method, Newton's method. To find the tangent at origin by Newton's method, we have to equate the lowest degree terms in the equation of the curve, and then which will give you the tangent at origin. By the tangent, we can say that the origin is an ordinary point or an extraordinary point. I will explain you some point on the curve which are extraordinary point. A point on the curve is said to be extraordinary point if the curve behave like that point and extraordinary manner. There are two types of extraordinary point: multiple point and singular point. A point on the curve through which more than one branches of the curve pass, then that point on the curve is said to be multiple point. If there is only two tangent, if there is only two branches of the curve pass, then that point is called to be double point. And if there are k branches of the curve pass through the point on the curve, then this point is said to be multiple point of k order. In general, a multiple point of k order, there are k tangent can be drawn, and when the two tangents or when the point on the curve is a double point, then there are classification of double point, whether it is a cusp, node or conjugate point. So here we have to find the nature of the double point, whether it is a node, cusp or a conjugate point. If two tangent, if the curve passing through the origin, and if we find by Newton's method equating to 0 the lowest degree term, and if we find tangents, if there is only one tangent, then the origin is said to be ordinary point. If there are two tangents pass through the origin and two tangents are real and distinct, then origin is called a node. If two tangents at the origin are real but coincident, then origin is called a cusp. If two tangents are imaginary, then origin is called a conjugate point. Sometimes it may happen that the point on the curve is a double point and it is a cusp or a node, but the branches of the curve are imaginary. In that case, the point is not cusp, not node, but it is called a conjugate point. For example, here we have given the equation. Again, I will take the equation of the parabola. Y square is equal to 4ax. You can see by the geometrical properties of this curve, it contains even powers of y, so it is symmetrical about x-axis. By Newton's method, this equation does not contain any constant term, so it passed through the origin. And to check the nature of the origin, by Newton's method equating to 0 the lowest degree term, that is x equal to 0, which is a y-axis. So the y-axis is the tangent at the origin. There is only one tangent, so we can say that origin for this parabola is a ordinary point. Second curve is here given y square into a minus x equal to x cube, where a is greater than 0. From the equation you can see that this equation does not contains any constant term, so it will pass through the origin. Now to check the nature of the origin, we equate to 0 the lowest degree term in this equation, which is y square a equals 0, which gives you y square is equal to 0. That is y is equal to 0. Second time y is equal to 0. That means the curve has two tangents at origin, but these two tangents are coincident, so the origin will be cusp for this equation. Next curve is given here, x cube plus y cube equal to 3axy. From this equation you can see that this equation does not contain any constant term, so we can say that this curve passed through the origin. Now to check the nature of the origin by Newton's method, equating to 0 the lowest degree term, that is x into y equal to 0, gives you x equal to 0, y equal to 0. X equal to 0 is the y axis and y equal to 0 is the x axis. So there are two tangents at the origin, namely x equal to 0 and y equal to 0. Both are real and distinct. So we can say that here the origin is a node for this curve. Here the equation figure here given, which shows that first figure you can see that equation of the curve is x cube plus y cube equal to 3axy. Just now we have discussed about it. Origin is a node since two tangents are real and distinct. Second figure is denote that origin is a cusp since two tangents are